Sales coach, and I'm so excited for today because here's the truth. You are freaking amazing. You have this magic, this spark, this power, this passion inside of you, and it is begging, literally begging to come out. I am so excited to be able to be your coach this week and last week to pull out your greatness and remind you of everything you're capable of. I am so stoked because I have some pretty great stuff that I'm going to show you today. I have some pretty great questions you should ask if you want to win big. In this video, you're going to get a handful of questions that if you haven't asked these questions yet, you really want to ask yourself. Now, here are a couple of questions. First question. First, you have to recognize, if you want to build a scalable business, you have to recognize the importance of one word: data. 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 You cannot manage what you do not measure. That was a gold nugget for somebody. If you're watching live, if you're watching on the rerun, go ahead and put that in the chat. You cannot manage what you do not measure. You cannot scale what you do not measure. And so you have to be able to have data that allows you to make confident buying decisions. If you're making decisions based off how you feel today, if you're making decisions based off of a gut feeling that was pizza last night, okay? If you're making decisions off of your mood today, what's going to happen is your business is going to be like a roller coaster, because guess what? As humans, our emotions are like roller coasters. We are up and then we're down and then we're feeling fire and then we're not. That is every human being on the planet. We all experience emotions. And so if you want to build your business, you have to make sure that you're making decisions off of data, because data doesn't lie. Somebody put that in the chat. That was a gold nugget. Data doesn't lie. So you want to ask yourself this question. Number one, do you have data to back up the decisions you're making today in your business? Do you have data to back up the decisions you're making in business today? Okay. Now, of course, if you want to follow your gut, if you want to follow kind of a sense of like intuition, 100%, go for it. You absolutely can do that. And on top of that, because it's not an if, it's not a this or that, it's a both and. Look at the data, because the data is going to inform your intuition. The data is going to inform your emotions. The data is going to inform your gut feeling. And then once you're looking at the data, you can say, okay, this is what the data says. Now I can make a decision based off of the data. Okay, so key. All right, so data. Number two, do you know the difference between how your dream client describes their problems, goals, solutions, needs, and how you describe them? We talked about this on day one, how most of the time, look, some people will say you are your ideal client. That's actually not true. Now, you are like your ideal client, maybe, but you are not the same. Even if you have similar stories, you have similar personalities, you have similar experiences growing up, right? Even if you have similar visions, the way you describe them and experience them through your five senses, and the way they describe them and experience them will still be different. It'll be similar, but not the same. And it's important to recognize that the way they describe it and the way they experience it, if you can communicate it in the way that they experience it and describe it, they will automatically feel like, oh my gosh, you're someone who gets me. You're someone who understands me. And so you want to make sure that you have data, but you also want to make sure that you are communicating and your message is crafted around how your clients experience the world, how they describe the world, not how you. Because here's the truth, it's about them. Right? If you're working with your client, you can set the boundaries, you can set the expectations, but it's the journey that they're on. You're there to simply support them. It's not the you show, it's the them show. You're there to guide them to their journey. And so you want to make sure that you're communicating in a way that resonates with them. So key. Okay, second question is, do you know where to find your clients? Here's where a lot of people get confused. There is a difference between a target market and a dream client. Okay, here's the difference. A market is someplace you go. A client is someone you work with. Catch that. Okay. A market, you go to the market to buy groceries. You go to the market to buy clothes. You go to the market to find clients. So where do you go to find clients? When most people, when they're asking, where do I find clients, Shawn? What they're really asking is, what markets do I need to be spending time in? What markets do I need to be spending time in? That's a breakthrough for someone. So you're not actually looking for clients as much as you're looking for markets that those clients are in. Anywhere that people gather, anywhere there are people, it is a market. Okay? Anywhere people gather, it is a market. So let's just think in terms of in person. There are conferences. If you want to land personal development clients, there are personal development conferences. Tony Robbins, for example, has a conference all on personal development. There's so many different personal development events that take place on, like, almost every single day. You can find a personal development conference. If you go there, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find people who are looking for support in personal development, developing themselves. If you're like, oh, I want to find more business clients, guess what? There are business conferences or events or workshops or networking events. There's a bajillion of them out there. If you go there to those business conferences, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find people there who are interested in getting business support. If you are you're an author coach, there's a ton of author workshops. So write your book retreats, write your book conferences, publishing conferences. If you go there, you're going to find people. So okay, conferences, workshops, events, that's one. Those are markets. Let's take it let's take it from the real world and into online world. In the online, if you are looking for copywriting clients, there are Facebook groups, there are Clubhouse rooms, there are Twitter threads, there are Instagram groups, like there are LinkedIn groups. There are forums, online forums. There are non-social media, but like more online forum alternative media, like Mighty Networks. I mean, there's so many different. There's Slack channels and communities. There's so many communities online. If you want, change the word market to community. What community are you looking to spend time in to find the type of people that would be perfect for your program? So this is one of the questions we have. We actually work with our clients on is, what are the 10 markets you can spend time in this week? Right? What are the 10 markets you can spend time on this week? And it has to be mixed, right? Mixed offline and online. What are the 10 markets you can spend time in where you're going to start interacting and finding people who are potential clients for you? So key. Such a great question to ask yourself. So first question, do you have data to back up the decisions you're making? Number 2, do you know the difference between how they're experiencing the world and how you're experiencing the world? Number 3, do you know where to spend your time? Do you know where to spend your time so that you can actually find the right people? And then number 4, do you know what people want to consume before making a purchasing decision? Do you know what people want to consume before making a purchasing decision? Remember, as a salesperson, you're a professional. As a professional, your job is simply to help people make purchasing decisions. They want to buy. You just have to support them as they're making purchasing decisions. And so as you help people make purchasing decisions, you want to know, okay, what questions are they asking themselves before the purchase, during the purchase, after the purchase? What can I do? What can I create? What can I provide so that when they're in that journey, that customer value journey, right? That journey to buying, when they're in that journey, they're consuming the right pieces of content. They're getting the right resources to move them to the next step. Super key. You want to make sure you understand the type of content, the type of resources that they're looking that will support them in making a purchasing decision. That's all your job is. Your job isn't to actually sell. It's to create an environment where people can buy. Ooh, that was a gold nugget for someone. Catch that. Your job isn't to sell. Your job is to create an environment, a space for people to buy. Such a key difference. So These are just like a handful of questions we start asking our clients in our very first conversation. We want to figure out where are you at, and we want to put together a whole custom roadmap for you. And so if you're like, Shawn, I'm on the edge, I'm kind of thinking, I'm considering it, I would love to, you have literally less than 24 hours at 5 p.m. today Pacific time, 5 p.m. today Pacific time. We're closing the doors for good, doubling the price. So you want to make sure you get in. Go to clientswithpurpose.com and you'll be able to join Akam, Lacey, Natasha, a handful of other people I can't remember. And it's going to be pretty awesome. So go ahead, click that link. My team's going to share that in the chat. And you'll go to clientswithpurpose.com in order to enroll. 5 p.m. Pacific time tonight, we close the doors, we double the price, and all the things, like literally, it's going to be so good. We're going to book our one-on-one. So as soon as you invest, we're going to book our one-on-one. And during that time, what's going to happen is you and I are going to go through 100 questions. I literally have a 100-point checklist that I go through with your business to see, okay, what do you have? What don't you have? Where are we at? What is your first step forward? What is your second step forward? So we can literally walk you step by step to getting the results you're looking for. I'm ShawnQ, your high-ticket sales coach. I'm so excited to support you. And the team's going to put that in the chat. Team, did you get that in the chat yet? Nope. All right. Keep going. I'll be live. And if you have any other questions, go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and reach out to me and let me know you can let me know in this chat, or you can send me a private message and I'll make sure to answer all of your questions. I'm an absolute open book. I want to be as transparent as possible. If you're looking for support in staying consistent, in getting help, in moving forward, and taking the right forms of action, I want to support you. So go ahead and go to Clients with Purpose, click that link that's in the chat, and you'll be able to get signed up. I'm ShawnQ, your high-ticket sales coach. Thank you so much for the honor of letting me coach you this week. And I'll see you in the program. Bye, everyone.